Good morning, everybody. My name is Maurice Hutchinson. I'm in the substance abuse prevention class here at Aspen University. Once again, good morning to everybody. I'm going to be talking about the Module 4 assignment regarding substance abuse business strategies. In this assignment, I'm going to talk about 5 major points. The first point is going to be improving awareness of substance abuse. The second is going to be the readiness can be improved through stakeholders to address substance abuse problems. Third, existing partnerships can strengthen other partnerships involving substance abuse. Fourth, the strategies to improve organizational resources. And lastly, developing and preparing the the prevention workforce. And the first thing I want to talk about is the improvement awareness of substance abuse. As a researcher and as a person at this school, I will improve awareness of substance abuse problems by the following. I think it's very important that you have to have an idea of what's causing substance abuse. You have to find out the symptoms. You have to find out a person's behavioral patterns. But I would first want to study how patients enter treatment and how they exit treatment. And that's very important because you need to, again, you have to have a foundation for every client to find out what's been really going on. Another thing I would like to find out how many youths are using substance abuse in the local communities in our county, because I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And like I said in previous discussions, I see a lot of children smoking weed. They look like they're 12 and 13 years old, don't have a care in the world. Another thing, I would like to use structure model techniques to learn the behaviors of those who are using substance abuse. And I would like to know also how many of them fail or pass during treatment. Is it because of withdrawal symptoms? Is it because of shocking news? Is it because of their environment and they cannot change because everybody else in the environment is doing it? Because I know when I was coming up, my parents always taught us, because somebody else is doing it don't mean you supposed to do it. But that was 30 some years ago, and we live in a different generation now where a lot of children follow their peers no matter what it is. But we had structure in the home, but that's another topic. I would also like to improve awareness of substance abuse through advertisements, by getting with the local radio stations, TV broadcasts, to see can they provide information to let the world know, let the community know that there is help available. This day and time, you don't see a lot of commercials like that anymore. You see commercials about cars and food and all different types of things. Next, I would like to talk about how readiness can be improved by stakeholders. Stakeholders can be business partners. Stakeholders can be people in the community. It can be leaders. It can be teachers. Anyone that wants to support to help eliminate substance abuse. And I think readiness can be improved by having stakeholders providing, helpful information like newsletters, or, like I mentioned before, commercials or books that can be put in the library, or anything that can tell others about substance abuse on a deeper scale. Not just saying just say no to drugs. Okay, that was the slogan back in the 80s, what we had, just say no. Well, it needs a little bit more than that. These kids need to have more practical things that they can do to help them to avoid the temptations and to help to avoid those types of things, so it doesn't mess them up psychologically down the road. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is existing partnerships can strengthen other partnerships involving substance abuse. We all have heard the saying, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And I think that's important to have if other partnerships is going to be able to work with other partnerships. So what I believe what they should have in order for the partnerships to be strengthened even more is to have a structured vision with similar partnerships objectives to help illuminate substance abuse. Another thing is these partnerships should have a funding team that maintains the finances, the monetary funds for any substance abuse events, issues, or concerns. And another thing they should have is having short-term and long-term goals with other partnerships. For example, short-term goal could be like a partnership deciding what tasks can they do with each other to remain connected with each other in the next 12 months. Okay, and then basically the strategies that I would use to improve organizational resources. One of the things I researched about and I think is very important is having transformational leaders. You may say, what is transformational leadership? Well, this type of leadership allows self-confident, goal-driven leaders to help other potential leaders to transform into being the leaders that they are. So it's not like somebody just want to have a position and just have all the power. What they want to, these types of leaders want to teach positive management styles to help empower, encourage their employees to come up as leaders, not just to stay where they're at. But at the same time, you do have some people who are complacent. They want to keep doing what they're doing. But what transformational leadership allows potential leaders to grow and to be successful and fruitful and to be able to help others in eliminating substance abuse. One other strategy I believe is very important is to have an effective human resource team. Human resources team is a team that is set up not just for you to get your paycheck, but is set up to make sure that everybody is having a professional, respectful relationship with each other. And that's very important, because if you do not have that, then it's going to cause a lot of problems, a lot of unnecessary issues. And people that are working towards eliminating substance abuse, one of the things the Human Resource Department does is it allows every employee should receive the same adequate amount of work without any forms of prejudice or favoritism amongst each other in the organization. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about the developing and preparing the prevention workforce. Okay. This is very important because you have so many people who are using substance abuse like candy, per se. It's so common now. I mean, when I was coming up, it wasn't as bad as it is now. But developing, preparing the prevention workforce, what it does is it helps recruit and encouraging potential employees and volunteers in the workplace. Because you got to have people to work in order for this to be successful. Another thing should also be included. People should be recognized or rewarded gifts, whether it's gift cards or something to show for their outstanding customer service, for being working hard and being diligent. And it don't have to be every day, but quarterly, yearly, something to show the appreciation of your hard co-workers, because when that happens, they will begin to do even more productive things for your organization. And then the prevention workforce should provide training as far as hands-on training, videos, assessments, so they'll know how to deal with various substance abuse behavior. You have some people that's going to be very arrogant. You're going to have some people that's going to be very abrasive. You're going to have some people that's going to be disrespectful. But if you're not prepared for all those things, then it can hit you in the face, quote unquote. And the person will be shocked, then they're not going to be able to handle, and it can be an ugly situation. But if you're already prepared and you know what to do and how to handle it, then it won't affect you as much. You'll be able to still assist to the best of your ability. And lastly, training needs to, like I said, training needs to be involved to help. Training to help interview clients that have substance abuse. And then last but not least, providing adequate work and life balance for all employees during and after work. In other words, you still have to have a life outside of work. Meaning if you have to go to the gym, you have to take a vacation, you still gotta, they say in the street, you gotta do you. And it's not to be mean or disrespectful, but you cannot have your life so wholly concerned about work where you don't have life outside of work. So basically, these are the strategies I believe that will help produce great results in substance abuse business strategies, and also helping those that are trying to help eliminate substance abuse. And I believe these steps that I provided will help eliminate it. It's not going to happen all at one time. It's a process, but it will get the ball rolling to help eliminate substance abuse. Again, my name is Maurice Hutchinson in the substance abuse prevention class. Hope everybody have a great day, and thanks for watching.